Do you want to discover what the 3 golden rules of an outdoor activity instructor are? Find out what they are and how there is more to this joke than meets the eye. Enjoy! Hi, my name is Niall. I've been an outdoor activity instructor for over a decade and welcome to Instructor 101. So there's a bit of a joke within the industry that there are 3 golden rules for being an outdoor activity instructor. Rule number 1, always look good. Rule number 2, remember that bad things will happen. Rule number 3, in the event of rule number 2, refer back to rule number 1. Now, when I first heard this, I thought it was nothing more than a bit of a joke with a little bit of truth behind it. But it turns out that there is a lot more that we can take from this. Now, I can't claim any credit for this whatsoever. This actually came from a good friend of mine called Anthony Barrett. Really good guy, really good friend of mine. And he shared this with me a few years ago, and I just thought it was really worth sharing with the rest of the outdoor activity instructor community. So, hope you enjoy it. Time to look at things in a little bit more detail. So rule number 1 was always look good. But what does that actually mean? And I'm not just referring to how you're dressed and whether you're wearing shades or not. Oh, that was lame, delete that. So for me, that is being purposeful in your actions. That's having a lesson plan prepared and created, your resources all ready to go. You look good when you are making things look easy. So the way to get to that point is to have everything ready and to practice. Practice and experience. Now, if you have a plan, that's going to make your life a lot easier rather than just the idea of, oh, I'm just going to wing it. If you know your content, you're really slick at what you need to do, you know your local flora and fauna, you know the principles about how the landscape has been formed around you, then things are going to be really, really easy. And doing things which help you out as well. So looking after your own fitness so that you're not putting yourself at your own limits when you're with a group. So yeah, some of this stuff means doing stuff in your own time as well. Now, what you do in your own free time, that's up to you. But I think you owe it to yourself and your clients to, invest that little bit of time in yourself so that you can make things look easy and, for your own reputation, look good. And of course, there is a bit of an element of how you present yourself as well. So are you physically making yourself look good? Are you actually appropriately dressed for the conditions? In theory, you should be better dressed than those that you're looking after, or at least your gear should be better maintained than those you're looking after at the time as well. So there's some food for thought. Okay, moving on to rule number 2. Remember that bad things will happen. Now, by bad things, I don't mean giant accidents or catastrophes or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like weather, group dynamics, other factors, I don't know, like equipment, logistics, and maybe just other people that are in the environment that you're in. And because of that, a good outdoor activity instructor is one that can adapt. We need to be prepared for any plan that we come up with to go down the drain and then have to come up with some other plan instead. That means rolling with the punches and not sitting down and just crying about the situation. That's not going to solve the problem. Besides, odds are it's probably not your fault, but we need to be open to the idea that it could have been our fault as well. Either way, whether it's your fault or it isn't, the group will look to you to solve it. That means being strong mentally and being positive. There is a reason why rule number 2 starts with the word remember. You should always know that problems will occur and you should or will have to be prepared to deal with them. Okay, last one, on to rule number 3. In the event of rule number 2, refer back to rule number 1. So we know that bad things can happen. We've discussed what I mean by those bad things. So we need to be prepared for them. That means having a contingency plan, having a plan B. If you want, all the way to plan C, D, all the way to plan Z, if that's what you feel is necessary. Like on route plans, we're asked to come up with alternative routes if we need to be. So we need to be flexible and adaptable to work with that. If things are running late, then we need extra techniques, tools, ideas like games and problem solving tasks and skills that we've got in our back pocket that we can pull out almost any time to help us out in any given situation. Making sure that we're slick in terms of our rescues, so rope systems, any other rescue scenarios that you can think of. And that might mean putting in extra practice in our spare time to make sure that we are fluid if we need to use them. With all of this stuff, I'm not just talking about hard skills either. I'm talking about those soft skills, those people management and group management skills. If we know how to keep people positive and focused, that, well, at one scale of things, it could keep them alive, but to a lesser extent, it could mean that they just have a more positive experience as well. And throughout all of this, the group will be watching. They'll be making sure that you're, well, not making sure, but they'll be watching to see whether you're being a role model. Are you role modeling the growth mindset, the positive attitude, the calm, collected leadership skills to get you out of that scenario at that time? Remember, that is a core part of outdoor education, so we want to be showing that as well. And whilst you're still doing all of that, you're still looking good. So in summary, do your best to be as prepared as possible. That way, when things are running smoothly, they're going really smooth. But you've also got backup plans in place, so even if things don't quite go as expected, you've got the skills and the resources in place so things can continue to move as smoothly as possible, and hopefully without the clients even noticing. But regardless, if you want to succeed within the outdoor activity industry, make sure that you remain positive and have an open mindset. As always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on this subject. So would you add another rule to the 3 that already exist? Do you agree with all the insights, or is there anything else that you'd like to add? Then let us know in the comments down below. And if this video was in any way useful, please remember to like, share and subscribe. That would make the world of difference, even if that's just leaving a smiley face in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated. There's lots more resources on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, so feel free to follow me on there. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.